Hello racers, and welcome to today's video. Today's video is Mini-B On-Road Season 3, Episode 9. Time flies when you're having fun, and we are about 2 races away from the Maritime Onroad Championships, where we're going to put this car on the podium with as much work that we've done to it to see if we can get her up there. In today's video, what we're going to do is I've been doing some more research on using the Essential Off-Road Racer's Guide, and one suggestion it has for steering at the end of long straights is to use a front wing. So I ordered in a TLR310000 front wing and mount for the Mini-B brushless. So let's take a look and see what we have in the pack. Get out the knife. So this mounts, I'll just take out, what you get is the little mount that bolts to the shock tower. You get the little wing, which would sit between the shock towers, and the screws to put it in place. Now, you notice that when I put the little wing up, this one sits in front of the shock tower. There's 2 different types of wings. Some will affix, and Raw Speed has it, and it will bolt to the top of the shock tower. The ones that bolt to the top of the shock tower, the effect is a little bit mellower, a little bit more mild. If it's in front of the shock tower, it's a bit more aggressive. So we'll try that out. Looks like it's only 2 screws to bolt that on. So let's give me a chance here to bolt it on, and we'll take a look with it installed. Here, just give me a moment. I'll put that on. And here we are, back from a quick install. Now here, let's take a close-up look at how this came together. Now, it did use the little 1.5 millimeter wrench, and it was screwed to the bottom hole of that shock tower. Bottom hole, the little mount was screwed in. The screws were a little bit longer, and you can see that to go through the mount, the shock tower, and back into the mount in behind. So that went completely through. I'll just give it a quick little snug while I'm thinking about it. Able to reach it as well through the front of the car. Perfect. That's a nice little flexible mount. You can see that it's got some flex to it. In case of a collision, I don't think you'll be able to snap that mount off. Now, the actual little screws in the front are about a 2 millimeter, 2.5. I use my 2 millimeter wrench to tighten them in. The little wing came pre-cut, pre-drilled, and it fits on there nicely. So what we should see is at the end of the straightaway, we should have lots of front grip for those long sweeping corners that our track has at the end of the straightaway. So that's going to be a change that I'll keep on the car through the day and see how that works. And on the rear of the car, I'm going to experiment with a slightly stiffer spring. So I noticed that through the corner it seemed a little bit soft in the rear, and I also want to keep the rear from squatting as much under power, because I find it's a little bit of an on power push. So as the car goes on power, the rear end squats, and with that happening, you'll get a bit of an on-power push. So I am going to try some extra springs that I did get from RC all-wheel drive. I did a video on the springs themselves, but I found some springs that are just slightly stiffer than the stock RTR rear spring. The RTR rear spring is about a 1.3 pound-inch, and these are about a 1.8. So they're about a half a pound stronger, and I think that may work great in the back of the buggy. So the two changes this week, we'll put on the front wing, which we got installed, and I'll just replace the springs and see how those work. So between the two changes, let's head over to the track, see how it performs. See you there. We are back, racers, with a disastrous news. On race night, my Savox, you can see in there, it's model SH-0257, failed, locked up. So fortunately there was a racer at the track who'd loaned me a car to drive, so I was unable to race the new front wing. So before next race, I'm going to install the Savox SH-0255 that one of the fellow racers had in his kit and said I could use. So that'll get me going. So unfortunately we could not test the front wing up to the point of that servo failure. It was working great. So we have one more race day before the championship race. So let me get this fixed and we'll see you in the next video. So next up will be racing, but with the loan car. See you there. So here we are, Mini-B A-Main final. Now after that disastrous servo failure, a fellow racer did have a spare car, so I was able to use that to qualify for the race day. Now his setup was a Losi wide rib front with a Sprinter Jconcepts rear. And that seemed to give the car a bit of an on-power push that I had to get used to. And the car had a little bit of a tweak, so it didn't turn left in that infield very well. With that, you can see my car is 5th on the grid. You see it go down through the hairpin, now going through the infield, and now going under the bridge. So qualified 5th, but results were pretty good, and I thought I could maybe improve. Some bobbling in the middle in the infield there, and I was able to sneak through and gain 3rd position. So not a bad start to this race. So let's follow the car around, going under the bridge. You can see right behind it are the two other cars, and there you'll notice that they really gain through the infield. Onto the straight we go, down around the hairpin. Now luckily for me, the two cars behind me started battling a little bit, and that was able to give me a bit of breathing room as I go around the hairpin, going through the infield and under the bridge onto the straight. Now the car right behind me, that pink and white, he was one of the leaders in qualifying, so it's been a real challenge to hold him back. And my thought was that if he'd get really close, I'm just going to let him go. And as we see, we're a little bit of a bobble there, and in the end both cars snuck by, so now we've passed back to 5th. So we go through the infield, now trying to catch up to those cars. Onto the straight, down into the corner, through the infield. Now just ahead of me there's a car struggling onto the straight. It's a bit of a collision there. Now he was having a mechanical problem, he was pulling his car off. But in the infield, orange car was flipped, or was bobbled a bit, and I was able to sneak back for 3rd. So between the car being pulled off and the orange car bobbling, now running 3rd. Onto the straight and down to the hairpin, so that the orange car is able to gain so much in that infield. Onto the straight, down through hairpin, going now through the center section. Again, you can see the gains through the middle. Luckily for me, there's a bit of, a few other cars in there giving me a bit of breathing room. So at this point, I'm just trying to hold on, going through the infield, but you can see so easily catches up in the infield. Onto the straight, down around the hairpin, coming up to that infield, under the bridge. There we go. Now he's coming down now. A little bit of a bobble. Collision. And my car is upside down, so that puts me back to fourth. But if you look on the left, there's a car flipped, and that was actually the car that had just passed me. He got into that corner, so back to third. So far so good. It's a back and forth type of race. So let's just follow the cars around here. It's getting pretty exciting. Under the bridge is my car. And the three cars behind me, as you can see, my car going through the infield, and all those cars gain so easily onto the straight. So immediately behind me, there's a green car and that pink and white, and they're battling for first and second. And they just hung up in the center of the track, and that gives me a lot of breathing room. Here we go through the middle of the track, down towards the bridge, up towards the straight, and now down around the hairpin. So the car is handling pretty good. Still got the on-power push that I'm kind of using to an advantage, but the infield is just so slow, it's hard to keep them behind. You can see that the two cars are battling behind, so that still gives me some breathing room. I'm able to hold on. And my thought is that if the first and second catch up, I was going to let them go by. And here they're catching up now, so there they go. I'll let the two of them go through. I think there was a bit of a bobble there. And it turns out the green car is right behind me. The orange car behind them, they're bobbling, giving me again breathing room. I'll take that. Onto the straight, down toward the hairpin, around through the infield. And here we go under the bridge. So at this point, right behind me is fourth place. I'm trying to keep ahead. A little bit of a bobble, and orange car does pass for third, leaving me in fourth. Let's see if I can catch up. There's a bit of marshalling happening in front of me, a slower car. Just pass him. And take a look at the center of the track. See a car going through. The green car's through the center of the track. The orange car, you can see bobble. He's in the penalty box as my car goes by, and that moves me back up to third. So he got in the penalty box. Now he's back out. And as I'm driving around, we're in the dying minutes of this race. Down through, coming through the infield now. Trying to make the line, and I think I just get caught at the line, finishing in third place. Now we're into a cool down lap. The other racers are finishing their laps. Just do it. So keep in mind, this was a borrowed car. We only have one more race day for final testing, and then it's the Maritime Champs. So if you like this type of thing, click like. If you have any comments, put your comments below. And please subscribe. We're up to 800 subscribers. Let's see if we can get to 1,000. Thanks. See you in the next video.